An absolutely hectic morning or afternoon for the rest of the world. In the world of tennis, the number one and number two players were playing at the same time, which was a bit wild. You had to get split screen to watch them both at the same time. But Jannik Sinner prevails this morning. I should keep saying afternoon because it was in Germany, over Jannik Hoffmann, the local player, a 33-year-old. There's not really journeyman in tennis, but as close as you can get to a journeyman in the sport. That's Jannik Hoffmann, 7'5", 6'3". And this match was very intriguing just because you wanted to know how would Jannik Sinner come back after losing not just that dramatic French Open final against Carlos Alcaraz, but losing his first tournament back after being suspended for 3 months to Carlos Alcaraz on home soil. You lose twice to the same player after the entire tennis world sees you as a villain. And he prevailed over an opponent that he's significantly better than, but you don't know if those demons get to you, if mentally it just sucks you away. But he prevailed and he did it, and he won, and that's all you can ask for. The first match of a new tournament is always difficult, but the first match of a new tournament after you went through what Jannik Sinner just went through the past 4 months and you're playing on a new surface can get especially hard. You can clearly see how much quicker grass is and how it is much less, I don't want to say forgiving, but it's, maybe not as physical. You don't have to run through clay. It's not as much slipping as you may see in clay. And the ball bouncing is a little bit more predictable, but it come back at you quick, like absolute quick. One thing you always see at every Roland Garros is a couple people will just completely swing and miss balls. Like that happened to Djokovic a couple times and Sinner once. Doesn't happen as much on grass. You have to be as pinpoint and precise as you possibly can. And Jannik Sinner did that. And obviously it was going to take him time to get into the match, but he did it over an opponent that he probably didn't have much, knowledge of, much film on, and he prevailed over him. But this match, if we're being honest, doesn't really matter because we figured that he was going to win anyway. You can always lose against someone you're a massive underdog against. I'll talk about Carlos Alcaraz later, but he lost to Jack Draper in Queens last year after he was the heavy favorite to repeat after winning in 2023, but took his foot off the gas a little bit. Carlos now, I didn't know this, after Roland Garros, he goes and he parties in Ibiza. Goes and parties in Ibiza, which he fully deserves to do. He did that last year when he won, and he did it this year when he won. He said this time was a little bit more chill than last time. But hey, who knows if he's still drunk from partying in Ibiza, and he kind of doesn't care about Queens. It's just to help him get a little bit more accumulated with the surface. But then when Wimbledon comes, that's when, we'll really, put the hamper on stuff and really lock down and show why I am that guy. But he prevailed as well, which we'll get to as well. But Jannik Sinner, after the emotional low that he went through and the way that he lost Roland Garros, he comes back here and he wins over Jannik Hoffmann. I thought he had a lot of good things going for him today. His signature forehand was working as well. He was moving around the court really well, which I was a little bit skeptical of because it seemed like he was physically hampered at the end of the Roland Garros final. I don't know if it was just fatigue because they did play for 5.5 hours. If it's fatigue because, he hadn't played much tennis since coming back from suspension, or if it's genuinely like something was injuring him because he was grabbing his hamstring at one point, grabbing his hip. I didn't know if he was physically impaired, but he looks totally fine, flying around the baseline like everything is okay. And he's obviously the clear favorite to win in Halle. Zverev lost in Stuttgart in the final to Taylor Fritz. Even though he's the hometown favorite, you favor Jannik Sinner to beat Zverev any day of the week. He just did it in the Australian Open final a few months ago. So he's the favorite to win this, hopefully winning a tournament, even though it's a 500, not a slam, will get his confidence back and will get him into good momentum in Wimbledon. But let's not get too ahead of ourselves because Jannik Sinner has to face Alexander Bublik in the second round. That game should be tomorrow. Yeah, it's tomorrow. That match should be tomorrow. Bublik obviously played an insane, 2.5 sets of tennis against Jack Draper, where he looked otherworldly, unstoppable, and Jannik Sinner essentially put all of that to bed. But, Bublik looked fantastic, absolutely fantastic against Jack Draper, and who knows if he can recapture any of that form. I don't want to say that he was tired, fatigued, he had expanded all that he could against Jack Draper earlier, or if he was just playing against the number one player in the world, and he made him look like, Bublik, you played phenomenally, but you're not on my level. And that's what happened at the French Open. But hey, let's see if it happens like in Halle. 500s are completely different because if you see the best players in the world, sometimes they're almost okay with losing some of these tournaments that don't matter as much. The 500s, the 1000s, even some of the 250s that they play because they were awarded a massive appearance fee, whatever it is. It feels like it's not that big of a deal to them. Maybe they're okay with losing. But I don't think that's the case for Jannik Sinner. After what's happened to him, I think he wants to win every point of tennis that he possibly can. And he's saying, you know, I am going to show no mercy to anybody else, and I'm going to ram through all of the ATP as much as I can. But hey, well done, Jannik Sinner. You came back and you bounced back and you did well over an opponent that you should have played well against, you know. But it's an opponent that can be tricky because you don't have much information on him. These opponents can be even harder for the best players in the world than even, you know, guys who are 15th or 20th in the world, because you've seen them play before. And if you're a little bit older, you've probably played against them. You know, Francis Tiafoe lost his first round match against some British player. I believe that was at Queen's. Other guys, Ben Shelton also lost his first match as well against a French qualifier. His name starts with R something, I can't remember. But these are some of the better players in the world, top 15 guys in the world. I think Ben Shelton made it into the top 10 now, and they're losing against qualifiers. Why? A, they could be still tired from the French, saving all their energy for Wimbledon, but also because these guys just came to them unexpected and they didn't know what was coming. And those guys just played better on that given day. But Jannik Sinner didn't allow that to happen, and I don't think he will allow that to happen. Oh, I didn't even know. He's playing doubles as well. He played doubles, yeah, against Sonego. And, they lost in the first round anyway. Oh, shit. I didn't know Jannik really played doubles like that. But yeah, he was playing doubles as well. We know how doubles works. A lot of times, doubles helps you with some fundamental stuff for your singles game. Like, you know, close court coverage, net game, you know, ability to play really end line to end line. Because obviously you have the deuce court. The doubles court. So, interesting. I didn't know he did that. But well done by Sinner. I feel like I'm going to keep saying that, and let's see what he does against Bublik, because that game could be very interesting.